Hello. I'm back with this is all about Star Wars. I've heard fans I don't like what Disney did to Gina Carano. I think it's shit. I don't think Pedro Pascal should be fired for what he said. I don't think what I looked at it, she was historically accurate. People have not been taught the truth about history because it's been, like she said, they've changed history. The left does that to try to make things seem, not what they are. That being said, let's talk about Star Wars, the 6 films, the original trilogy and the prequels. People that got all pissy and angry about the prequels back when they came out and said, oh my God, George Lucas ruined Star Wars. We have to take it away from him. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you that if one thing about George Lucas you have to understand is Star Wars is a serial based on his childhood of the serials he watched in movie theaters when he was a kid, which were Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, and I think the Phantom and others. So he's based in the way those are, and that's how he wrote Star Wars, all 6 of them. Hell, he even wrote Howard the Duck, and I love Howard the Duck. It's a bad film, but I love that movie. But here's the thing. Nobody gave him nearly the shit that they gave him for the prequels when he did Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skulls. I hated that film. But people gave him a pass on that film, but shit all over the prequels because they thought, oh my God, all the CGI and what's this about the Metachlorians? What's with this Jar Jar Binks and everything? It's like, oh my God. If you paid attention, Jar Jar Binks goes from goofy, young, like adolescent in the first movie, and by the third one, he's an adult. So he matures and changes as each film comes out. He's, and remember, he's like a kid who's never been off his home world, which he had never been. When he goes to Tatooine and, he's traveling, it's like, whoa, this is something new. And he's like a kid who's never been, who's been sheltered all of his life and suddenly goes and sees the world. Oh my God, what is this? So yeah, Jar Jar Binks is not the terrible character everybody makes him out to be. Yes, in the first movie he's annoying, but as they go on, he gets less and less annoying. So you forget that he was... By the third film, he's totally an adult. He's not goofy. He's mature. And it's like he's grown up. Can't say the same thing about Natalie Portman's performance of Amidala. Jesus Christ, can that woman not act? But I'll say this. She gives one of the best lines in the whole movie with her terrible acting. And I love it to death is, Anakin, you're breaking my heart. Greatest delivery of crappy dialogue. Okay. Anakin gives bad dialogue too. I like Hayden Christensen. I think he's a good actor. I watched him in that movie that he did with Kevin Kline. He's actually he is talented. And he plays Anakin in this movie like you would think for somebody that's told he's the chosen one, yet they treat him like a child that he's so frustrated and angry. Just go back to the first 2 movies with Luke Skywalker. He was very whiny, complaining, oh my God, and he was whiny in both. This is too hard to do. He says that in Empire Strikes Back with Yoda. He goes, this is too hard. I can't. It's impossible. And then Yoda goes, and lifts his out of the swamp, and it's like, so yeah. Yeah, by Return of the Jedi, Luke is not a whiny kid. He's grown, mature. He's become an adult. And if you look at Revenge of Sith, when Anakin becomes Vader, he becomes mature and he becomes an adult. Yes, he's turned to the dark side. And it's all because he's treated like a kid throughout the 2, from Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith. He's still being treated like a child instead of being treated like an adult. He's being treated like a child. And I can understand his frustration. And here's the thing. Most people don't even think about this, that Palpatine is Anakin Skywalker's father. Go back to when Qui-Gon Jinn asked Anakin's mother, who is Luke's father? She goes, he has no father. All she remembers, a bright light, and then she was pregnant. Go back to Revenge of the Sith, where Palpatine is telling Anakin basically that he's the Sith Lord. He's revealing about the dark side of the Force, which he talks about his master training him how to use the Force to create life. This is how he says he can save Padme. So he's revealing that he's the one that created Anakin. So he's Anakin's father. That makes him Luke and Leia's grandfather. So the family story is complete. Screw you, Abrams. So we get to, the Revenge of the Sith is the best of the prequels because Ian McDiarmid, he shines in everything, and it really shows everybody gives their best performances in Revenge of the Sith. Hell, even Natalie Portman, like I said, she's a shitty actress, but that delivery of that dialogue is just, it's beautiful. And so we go to the original trilogy. Okay, at the beginning, like I said, Leia gets her home world blown up. She gets all the men that were protecting her killed, all for those plans. She won't give them up. She won't tell them where they are. She lies about the rebel base, so they destroy her home world. Then, as Luke's messing with things, the message comes out. Here's a clue. If you paid attention, she goes, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you fought alongside my father in the Clone Wars. Okay, she's revealing that she's not talking about her adopted father. She's talking about Anakin Skywalker. She knows Anakin Skywalker's her father. Holy shit. Leia is also older than Luke. So, we find out, after Obi-Wan's sacrifice, she almost gets everyone killed in the trash compactor. Remember when they come to rescue her, she makes fun of Luke and then tells everybody, get in the trash compactor. She doesn't know it's a trash compactor, but she almost gets them killed, crushed. And thanks to the R2-D2 and C-3PO, they're saved. Of course, Obi-Wan sacrificed himself so that they can get away. And what happens? Tarkin follows them because he's put a tracking device, which she didn't think. Nobody, But here's the thing. They find out that it's Yavin 4. Yavin 4 is where the rebel base is. They get there. What happens? All the men, no women, go out there and fight. That's a key, because that's based on, if you look at war conflicts of World War I, World War II, and Vietnam, and even the Korean War, women didn't fight on the front. We're talking about for the U.S., did not fight in the, they're in the battlefield. They were busy making the weapons, flying the planes to the men in the Pacific. They did other things that helped. And they did die. They were killed, but that was due to being, working as nurses and secretaries when they got bombed by the Axis, by the enemy. So yeah, women did die in World War I and World War II, but that was due to them being in non-combat roles and being there out there helping to the soldiers and everything when they got hurt. If they made it back to, a medic, or they were a secretary. So if you look at the battle at the end of Star Wars, it's all men. They're dying, and they're saved because Han Solo comes back. So Leia's able to basically look good because the men basically died saving her. Okay, let's get to Empire Strikes Back. This is the one where the ending makes no sense. Not the Luke and Vader thing. I'll tell. Okay, we get to Hoth. Okay, how does the Empire realize they're on Hoth? Okay, they scan it, and they find the shield generator. That's the first thing they notice. Okay, they know the rebels are there. Why is the shield generator? This is a planet of ice. Okay, why didn't they put the shield generator underground, away from where it could have not been seen? Then they could have hidden everything else, and maybe they wouldn't have found them. But literally hold the sign up and say, we're here. And she treats Han like shit. She does. She makes fun of him, she talks down to him, and kisses her brother. And Han's left there looking kind of stupid. And then throughout it, as he's flying and everything, she's mocking him, making fun of him, talking down to him. And then when they get to Bazbin, Cloud City, she doesn't feel comfortable. And suddenly when Han says, oh, don't worry about it, we'll be fine, she, instead of trusting her intuition, she goes, okay, I trust you now. Why are you trusting somebody you've treated like shit the entire movie? And then she says, as he's about to be frozen, I love you? What the fuck is that about? Leia never once told Han she had any feelings for him. She didn't. And then Return the Jedi. Oh, this is funny. She almost gets the rebels killed, but is saved thanks to a bunch of Teddy Ruxpin and Chewbacca. And then, before that, Luke, asks her if she remembers her mother. What does she say? She remembers her mother crying. Okay. She remembers the day she was born because she was born before her brother. Leia's older than Luke. Okay. And he he tells her that they're brother and sister. What does she say? I kind of always knew. So you mean, you freaky bitch, when you kissed your brother, you knew he was your brother. You knew Vader was your father. That's freaky. They kiss your own brother. And then because she's kind of an idiot. I mean, and Luke's a whiny child for the first two movies. Jesus Christ, he's like, he wants to get off that planet. He's whining about it to his Uncle Leia. I mean, dude, Jesus Christ. He calls the Millennium Falcon a piece of garbage. A piece of crap, actually. I mean, Jesus Christ, and then he uses the Force that he just got to trust the Force and blows up the Death Star, but in Empire, when he almost gets killed, gets rescued, gets kissed by his sister, goes to the Dagobah system, and basically Yoda tells him to lift his X-Wing out of the swamp, and he goes, ooh, and he goes, it's too hard, it's impossible, and then Yoda goes, oh my god, you whiny child, and he gets it out, and he goes, how did you do? He seems, oh my god, that's a surprise. So Luke, till return, and then return, he's matured. Jesus Christ, just like Anakin, they're both kind of, the Skywalker men are very whiny. So yes, it's campy, it's kind of stupid, but that's the whole point of Star Wars. That's George Lucas's childhood. He borrowed influences from other movies, but essentially Star Wars is as goofy and stupid as the prequels. Yeah. And if people had backed off in 2012 when he had taken a break, all the hell and everything he got, oh, we should sue, people just, and he took a break. 7 years later, he was like, oh, I'm ready to do a new trilogy and a TV series. Oh no, could people just been like, oh my god, George Lucas is going to do? No, they came back to hate on him, so he said, fuck it, and sold it to Disney. That's right. You couldn't leave George Lucas alone even after 7 years of him not touching Star Wars. As soon as you knew he wanted to do a new one, you pissed on him to the point he sold it to Disney. And then you were, oh my god, if we're going to get a new trilogy and Abrams is going to do it, he's going to save Star Wars. And same with Rian Johnson, because y'all thought Rian Johnson was a great director because of his shitty fucking movie, Brick, and fucking, what was that stupid other one he did? I can't even remember. That movie was fucking shit. And he just, it was crap. And then, of course, Abrams is a shitty director, a hack of a piece of garbage. He fucking wrecked Star Trek, and he fucking lost with a shitty show that fucking should have ended. Any idiot who didn't think those people died the moment that plane blew up in the sky and they hit the ground from that far up is a complete idiot. They were dead from the beginning. Oh, we can't understand why they're dead. Because these morons put a bunch of side stuff that didn't fucking mean anything. The side stories were garbage. That show was pure dog shit from the beginning. Just like his fucking Invasion. His version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh, Jesus Christ, with that garbage. His Felicity. Oh my God, she cut her hair. It's the end of the world. And of course, what was that, Jennifer Gardner? God, she cannot act. What was that movie? Oh my God, I cannot remember it. I mean, that TV show. But yeah, he's a crappy director. He made the worst of the Mission Impossible films. And I'm talking about even with the first one where they turned the one guy in that John Voight played on the TV show who was the leader into the villain. Still, third was the worst. Putting Ethan, who's supposed to be this, into a relationship, and Jesus Christ, was it fucking awful. I love the second Mission Impossible. I thought it was a nice change to have. Oh, okay. So and the others are much better. The other Mission Impossibles are far better. They've gotten better. But that third one was the biggest pile of dog shit. Just like Abrams trying to do his version of E.T. was dog shit. So what did you expect when he goes, I'm going to do his Force Awakens from the beginning was pure fucking desolated dog shit. And everybody goes, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. This is a great movie. No, it was fucking garbage. He turns Finn into a janitor and says, oh, Captain Phasma is the most important character, and then dumps her in a trash compactor. He treats characters like shit. Rey is Mary Sue. She's perfect, and yet she doesn't know anything. She has the whole thing where she looks kind of like she's staring at nothing. Oh my God, what the hell's going on? She looks lost and confused throughout the whole movie. And so, yeah, this is the problem with it. And then he's asked, are you going to, what about, Rey and Dark Smeagol? Are you going to answer that? No, I'm going to leave it up to Rian Johnson. What the fuck? Rian Johnson didn't want to fucking deal with he had a different idea because Abrams doesn't, collaborate with people or write characters that fucking have personality. He left it up to Rian Johnson, who had no idea what he was getting, and he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to answer, so he shit on those two questions and said her parents were nobodies, and he's a piece of garbage. We'll kill him off. And that's because Abrams is a shitty director and Rian Johnson's a shitty director. They bring back a shitty director to do the third one, which is Abrams, and he fucks it up so bad because he fucked it up from the fucking Force Awakens. Rian Johnson shits on that with fucking The Last Jedi, which I don't, give it to somebody who fucking thinks Abrams a piece of shit that he shits all over his movie. And then Abrams comes back and shits all over his first movie, and he shits all over The Last Jedi with The Rise of Skywalker and try to say that Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. Oh, so that means Luke, Leia, and Rey are cousins. That means when she kisses Kylo Ren, she's kissing her first cousin, last removed or something like that. But they're cousins, and they're kissing. Jesus Christ, this family's a freaky family of women wanting to kiss their relatives. Oh my God, it's a freaky family. And yeah, Palpatine is Luke and Leia's grandfather. That means, yes, technically she is a Skywalker because of her cousins. That's why she calls herself a Skywalker. God, the movie's fucking garbage. But then you got Mandalorian, which was, and the only one that was worth watching was Gina Carano. Now they got rid of her. The show will fucking be the complete dog shit. It's always been like everything Disney puts out. Disney sucks, and guess what? It's not the company that Roy and Walt Disney created, and those two were so pro-American. They hated the Nazis. They hated the communists. Walt Disney testified, and they, along with the Warner Brothers and Hanna-Barbera made pro-American propaganda cartoons against the Japanese and against the fucking Nazis. So fuck all of you who said that Walt Disney he's an anti-Semite. No. Fucking the communists in Hollywood. George Soros. Oh, God. Herb Soros, who ran the Hollywood Communist Unions, all of them, fucking hated the Jews. But not Walt Disney. So fuck anybody who lied about it. And the communists were fucking turning each other in the blacklisting. Because McCarthy was fucking fighting the Pacific when those hearings were going on. He was going after communists after he became a senator in the fucking Senate and the U.S. government. And fuck the lies that everybody has ever told about him. He didn't blacklist anybody. And in fact, Edward R. Murrow was a communist piece of shit fucking propagandist who lied about Joseph McCarthy. And fuck Hollywood. Fuck them all for lying about him. And fuck all of you that believe the bullshit about him and about Walt Disney. Here's a finger. Go to hell. And, oh, by the way, screw Disney. Fuck them. Cancel Disney. We love Gina Carano. And fuck Disney right up the ass. Fuck you, Jon Favreau. You stood by and let this fucking happen. You are never going to fucking save Star Wars. You are Kathleen Kennedy's fucking little bitch. Bye.